I swallowed my gum.
Hello
and welcome
to the Minimum Wage Podcast.
Where the name is above our pay grade.
Today, backed by popular demand, we're joined with...
Ethan Balducci, a.k.a. Alto Pablo.
Yes, we are.
Yep.
So, you just released the instrumentals.
I did. Before we get into all that, this episode technically won't finish until 7 years from now when you fully digest that piece of gum. We'll have to check back in 7 years.
Okay, that's
Something
an
like
old
that.
wives' tale. You can't be spreading that misinformation, dude. We're going to get a little bar on the bottom of our video. Misinformation. Like,
missing content.
then it's not going to be pushed out to the audience.
Fact checkers.
Yeah, dude. Independent fact checkers are going to get us for that one.
Oh,
It's funny to think of that, though. Like, that the gum just knows, like, your body is like, oh, well, that's gum. It's going to have to stay there.
Yeah, it's got to stay there.
Everything else goes.
Yeah,
It's a matter
and then
of
7
hours.
years later, it's like, oh, it's been 7 years. I've been waiting.
Pitch it.
Yeah,
All
gone.
that gum is
man. Then
Oh,
it excretes
mercy.
your gum.
All in one massive wad of gum.
I can't believe you did that. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's why I wanted to do that. I didn't know that's why.
Oh, that way I could potentially choke on my gum. Incredible.
He knew it was gonna happen.
Great
He have some
success.
type of like predetermination. Like, I don't know what it is. It's a
Yep.
sixth sense,
Yeah.
but you just knew it. It's only with gum though. Like, you can't tell if anything else is gonna happen, but you know when somebody's gonna swallow that gum.
This is a random little thing, but we have more than 5 senses. Anyways, you just released your instrumentals.
Hold on. Like, you can't say we have more than 5 senses.
No, that's true because you have the perception of time. Do you not?
This is true.
And you also have, like, how do you know where your arm is without looking at your arm? Through the power of proprioception.
Proprioception. You've got a name for it as well.
Proprioception. How'd you come up with that?
It's what we learned in science class.
Okay, so you learned it.
What we learned, we is
called-
not the word there. What I learned.
What I learned in science.
I think I'm speaking for myself and Ethan. I never learned proprioception in science class, sir.
Well, you got these little things in your muscles called proprioceptors, and they help you know where things are when you're not looking at them.
Is that why you have, like, phantom limb? Like, people who lose a limb, phantom limb?
Yeah, I know what you're
don't
referring
know
to.
if that's the root cause of that. It may have something to do with it,
Might
but
have
that
something
I
to
do
do
not
with it.
know because I am not a scientist.
Yeah, you just know about proprioception.
Apparently.
That's wild.
I'm not that kind of scientist.
Yeah. Man, I'm definitely I'm big up on the proprioception.
Yeah.
I know my position in space like none other.
I gotta check in with my proprioceptors.
Every now and then,
Make
you have
sure
to
they're
wake
doing
up in the
well.
morning,
Oh,
Mhm.
what's going on there?
just tap every inch of your body, make sure it's still working. Make sure you're still propriocepting.
Indeed.
Fresh incense.
A fresh little incense on the pod.
Dude, this is like we're being trained like Pavlov's dogs now. Every single time I smell the incense, I'm ready to talk.
Hey, dude, that's what it is.
And it's the
Podcast
same
now.
incense. We're gonna have to buy another pack of that exact
Oh,
same
yeah.
one, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is a whole mix and match. Me
Oh,
and,
is
it?
Me and brother Henry.
Well, apparently we just been burning the same ones.
Yeah, because it all smells the same to me. I don't know.
Well, so they've been getting to know each other in that bag for a while. But
Oh,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
true.
Henry and I went to Earthbound and just smelled all of them, picked out our favorites, got about 25 of them.
All right. Side note: Earthbound is actually an incredible store. Like, I thought it was just for like the the women that wear quartz around their neck and whatnot. You know, they
I
love
get
the
that.
stones.
There's a perceived target market there, but they have a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely. I found that cool incense holder that you actually saw with like the different pools.
Yeah,
You remember
Yeah,
that was an
Those-
Earthbound pickup.
Are pretty cool
Good stuff.
types of incense whenever it like goes down
Yeah.
and flows like it's water. Those
I
ones are
wish you
sick.
could use this type, but it doesn't produce enough smoke, I don't believe, because you have to use the
Yeah.
little like bullet looking ones.
Right, it has to
Yeah.
mad thick smoke.
Mad thick.
Mm.
Yeah, dude. So speaking of mad thick,
Mad Thick.
back to what we started. the instrumentals, sir.
Yes, the Mad Thick instrumentals. Yeah, dude, I put out the instrumentals for the first album. Because I wanted to.
Beautiful,
Awesome.
dude. How
Yeah.
hard was that though, really? Because in my eyes, like, you just have to go back into Logic and just remove the vocals and then export.
I mean, to that extent, yeah. Yeah, it was pretty easy. But we did like another round of mastering on them, just because like the levels are gonna be different, and like there's a big element missing, so you can kind of you got to revisit the mastering and like, make sure the loudness is hitting right.
Incredible, dude.
Shout out to Michael Hitchcock, one of my really good buddies and producer.
Absolute goat, dude.
Indeed.
Living it up in Atlanta now, right?
Yeah. He moved out of Nashville. So since we recorded the album, we recorded that up in Nashville in his house.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Not too long after we finished recording, and like right after him and his wife got married, like they moved to Atlanta. Like crazy week for them. Yeah.
That's wait, in the same week? You said right after.
They went on the honeymoon. But
yeah.
Right when they got back. Yeah,
dude, that's kind of crazy actually. Did they already have like the house waiting for them? Like they had already purchased, or what? What was going on there?
I think they were moving in faith a little bit. They just knew it was time to leave Nashville. But I don't know if everything was finalized. But yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
They made it safe and sound.
They just whipped, dude.
Yeah.
They
did.
Wow. It had been a crazy time for Hitchcock too, because I remember when we went up to see him in October of 2020. Was it 2020?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, it's been so long now.
Yeah.
But he was living in an apartment, not with the wife, because it was
not with the wife.
I don't even know if it was fiance at that point.
That's a good question. I don't think so. Yeah.
I don't think so either. Girlfriend, yeah.
Girlfriend.
But they had their own separate abodes in Nashville. Then they came together somewhere
along the line.
Somewhere along the line, yeah. And then they moved.
Now they got their house in Atlanta.
Dude, beautiful.
Yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom.
I still have to go up and see my dog, but
yeah.
Man,
good dude.
Life's just busy.
Indeed.
Yeah, dude. So the instrumentals, have they been hidden, dude?
Have they been hidden?
Have they been hidden?
Oh,
not hidden.
They were
hidden away. No one can find them.
Yeah, they sound good. I won't lie. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I listen to it.
Yeah, of course.
I feel like some artists they like don't listen to their own music, but like I don't know. I'm pretty proud of it. Like it sounds good.
Did we talk about that thing on the podcast with Aziz Ansari going to meet Kanye?
Yes. Yeah,
we talked about it on the pod?
We did last time. Probably.
Did we actually?
I think we probably did. Yep.
Do you remember this?
I didn't talk much of that pod. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, yeah, I know, but we'll talk about it again, I guess. So tell the story from the top. Kanye.
I mean, yeah, pretty much Kanye meets Aziz Ansari. Hot button topic, Kanye West. Yeah.
We're gonna get it. We've got 2 independent fact checker strikes now. Come on, dude.
I'll take just one more and we're gone.
Yeah, cool. I think the way it went was Aziz, Kanye meets Aziz at some event, and afterwards he's like, dude, you're funny. Like, come to my house, hang out and be funny. Aziz is like, okay. And he like, Kanye like texts him like, so he goes over there, Aziz goes over there, and he walks in and he's like, hello, Kanye? And he hears 808s and Heartbreaks playing Kanye's album, and he walks in and Kanye's just like, like
jamming with it, dude.
Kanye, is this your music? Yeah. This shit is dope.
That was Ethan when he was listening to the instrumentals, dude.
Indeed.
Walking, bopping to it.
Absolutely.
It is a different listening experience. I mean, especially if you've like listened to it with the vocals in there. Whenever you're expecting the vocals and it's not, like, it's a little strange.
Yeah.
But in a nice way, because you're listening to what's going on in the background. I'll say, like, I mean, I recorded the dang thing, and I'm still like hearing stuff in it now with the vocals not in there. Like, you can hear a lot of the elements going on.
Yeah, you got a lot more nuance to it and whatnot.
Yeah, and yeah, there's a lot of little nuggets in there. It's fun.
Dude, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
On behalf of some people who watch.
Okay.
What is up with the songs on your album that don't have words? There are 2 of them, Prelude and Kiwi, I believe.
I don't know if Kiwi doesn't have words.
Okay,
They're
it
not
has words.
language.
It doesn't have English words. I'm sorry. Okay, that's what they said, but I was like, they have words, they're just not in English.
Right,
okay.
right. It's not lyrics so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are words going on in there, a lot of words.
Right.
Well, Prelude, I'll say both of those happened in Croatia when I was on the mission trip there in 2018. And Prelude, I just like wrote that just kind of like came out of me on ukulele. It's like almost feels like a classical piece of music. But yeah, that kind of just like occurred. Like that was nice. But then that like I wrote and then, you know, recorded back in Augusta. But then the Kiwi was literally just like one of the missionaries and like a bunch of the youths there like sitting around, and I'm sitting with them just like playing on guitar, and I thought I like was gonna like make a full song out of it, and then I ended up capturing them like all Croatian but like speaking in Italian, like having fun, like saying like Italian and like some Spanish words I think in there.
Really?
So they were like not speaking their own language, so they were just like having fun, and then, you know, it's just me in the background like figuring out these cool chords.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So when I was putting the album together, like listening to just that, you know, iPhone recording, I was like, I could like turn this into like a whole song, and like for the live show definitely will in the future, but like that recording is the song. Like that's the moment in time, like us sitting like underneath the kiwis growing behind that church.
Yes.
Awesome.
I don't know why,
Backstory.
but the first time when you told me about that song, and I think you sent me like the voice memo recording or whatever, I got it in my head that you were under mango trees. So for the longest, like I still think of that song as Under Mangoes Do We Speak.
Yeah, that was like the full title was Under Kiwis Do We Speak.
Yeah, I still think Under Mangoes Do We Speak every single time I see it. I see it on the album, I'm like, Under Mangoes Do We Speak, man.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, that one, I guess, would you call it like an interlude?
Yeah, they're both like transition songs. Well, I think the whole album, like, you know, the songs stitched together pretty well.
You sequenced it very well.
Yeah, the sequencing I had a lot of fun with. But they both, like, I don't think they're like extra. Like they are the smaller songs, but they're also like necessary.
Absolutely, yeah.
They help complete it.
They make it a full album.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line right there.
That's the bottom line.
Fact of the matter.
There you go. There's your answer.
To the people that wanted to know, they're heart-filled nuggets on the album. Even if they don't have all the, you know, fancy words that the other ones do, they're just as important and special to me.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So really another question that a lot of people have is like the meaning behind songs. So my thought was always like, Ethan makes songs. He's like in his room, like playing, doing whatever you do, and then he's like, oh shoot, I could put some words to this and make a song. I'm like, some of them maybe don't have all that much meaning, but then they gain meaning from like the meaning that you give them either in post or like while you're figuring them out, you're like, oh, this actually kind of does mean something to me.
You're absolutely right with that. Like definitely.
I do have one little side note.
Yeah.
If you keep your mic like up here, like this is fine, but if you do one of them, it makes his job a lot easier. Okay. Because that way he doesn't have to adjust the audio based off of where your mic is.
Yeah. What kind of adjustments would you be doing?
A little bit of some audition, actually. Okay. Young man taught me. I mean, literally, I can't take any credit for this. Yeah. I was taught by the one and only Ethan. Dude.
I'm getting lackadaisical with my positioning. Yeah. It's for audio effect.
Honestly, I'm not too worried about it. Like it's pretty full. These take in pretty nice sound already. Yeah. Legitimately on the last one, I normalized and did nothing else. So yeah, I think we've got it. Also, like literally all I've been doing is keeping your mix on here. So like you equalized it to the perfect level, really.
It sounds incredible.
It sounds beautiful, dude.
It does all right.
And wouldn't you know it, dude? The person that records this, like, I was about to say for a living, not a living yet, but hopefully, in the future, dude.
We're living while doing it. So.
Exactly. Yeah. Indeed. Imagine that he can actually equalize.
Yeah.
Love it,
wow.
dude.
It's good. It's
but yeah, one in particular that I'm wondering about the meaning from is don't question.
Don't question.
If that one actually did have any meaning before going into it.
Yeah, no, for sure. That one, the words did come early on, which, you know, like you were saying, like, me just like coming up with like the music part, and then like, oh, maybe I could put some words to this. Definitely more so like that. But then every once in a while, you know, like the words come with the melody at the same time, and that's, you know, always a blessing. Yeah, Don't Question. That was really just an idea of like, you know, a couple like trying to like find common ground and like trust each other.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously this is like really vague, but it's just how, you know, it was written. Yeah, kind of like the guy who's like singing to the girl. He's just saying, you know, like, you have nothing to worry about. Like, don't, like, I got you.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's saying like, don't question my love, because, you know, I'm here for you.
Yeah. She's out there trying to question.
Yeah.
Oh, trifling eye.
Well, and so I will say but like the meaning has changed as I've gotten older and like through the process of like, you know, finalizing it in the album. Like, no, she does have every right to question if she does. Like, you know, trust is like, you know, you're holding each other accountable.
Yeah. You should give no reason to question, though.
Well,
that's really what it comes down to. Like in a healthy relationship, there should be no questioning. It should be a fact of a matter, you know?
Yeah.
Talking about the bottom line.
Exactly.
So I think at a certain point it became more of like an aspirational, like almost mantra to say, like, I want to be the kind of person where you don't have to question.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of where it ended up.
Beautiful, dude.
Yeah.
So that was one. Also, Terminal Mist.
Terminal
Mist. So interested to hear. I'm just kind of listing off like my favorites, but Terminal Mist, I'm so interested to hear the backstory behind that one.
Yeah, so I will say in terms of like the meaning, that one is way more like artistic. It's way more up to interpretation what it's like about to you.
Yeah.
But for me, like that's where the album began. Like that was the first like recording I had, was me sitting at the terminal in the airport before, like, I had just landed in New York before going to Croatia with my friend and everything.
Really?
So like the last song was the first one that I had just like a recording for. And it's just like the spirit of adventure. Like you're in the airport, you know, you're ready to go on this journey. And the lyrics have to do with, you know, like finding the West Coast, and like, you know, it's like throughout the album there's been like this character like Alto Pablo like journeying.
Yeah.
So, you know, yeah, Terminal Mist.
That's kind of funny to me though. You say finding the West Coast when first you went up the East Coast and then you're going even
had
further
nothing to do
east.
with where I actually was. No, yeah.
Yeah, it's just the vibe of the song.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's funny. It's kind of funny how you create like stories behind the album in your mind, like absolutely irrelated to what was actually going on.
Yeah, I'm all about creative license because like
100%.
I mean, luckily there was like stool. Luckily,
something you could put your foot on.
You try to say cool stuff, and then stool comes out.
Yeah, that's how words are made, though.
Yeah. Luckily, there was cool stuff like going on in my life at that time, but even then, like, I was writing about, you know, it was like inspiration for these other things that, you know, weren't like actually happening. Other than like Mostar, which was like more like biographical almost.
Yeah, that one
like,
actually was going on.
Yeah.
Being
in that city.
Dude, that's dope. So I'm interested though. Can you tell the audience a little bit about like your backstory, like growing up and stuff? Because everyone always wonders, like, they know the artist by their music, but they never know like what the backstory is behind them. Like with Kanye, I know we keep going back to this too.
Bumping his 808
yeah, you see the genius of Kanye, and you're like, whoa, I didn't know any of that. I just see Kanye now, and he's like this like huge artist dude, you know, billionaire, maybe not anymore, but like almost, you know, he's got a ton of money. You know him for what he is today, but you don't really know the backstory that got him to that point and the person he was at those different points in time leading up to where he is now. So I'm interested to hear a little bit about your life, because obviously we grew up together, so I know some of it, but like from your point of view, from my eyes, it's a whole different story. From your eyes, you lived it. Yeah. So I'm interested to hear.
Well, first, let me say I still feel like I'm at the start of the story. Like,
yeah.
this.
No, I mean, you absolutely are, for
definitely
sure.
Still,
We're just getting
just
a little
building
check-in.
up. Right. Yeah, this is
Kanye when he pulls up to the record. Like,
Dude, I mean, backstory. Grew up in a very musical family. Both sides of my family. A lot of musicians and singers and just like entertainers. Like, really good. Like, I'm very chill compared to like all the people in my family. Like, despite enjoying to be on stage and everything, like I feel like I'm way more like laid back in my like, persona.
Okay, I would say yes until I think about your grandpa not on the science teacher side.
Yeah.
That dude is as cool as steel out of the freezer.
Yes. Yeah. Pablo.
The actual Pablo.
The
actual Alto Pablo.
Yeah. So part of my upbringing, my dad's dad.
Yeah, so you're around his level. I would say you're a great balance though, because I think about the other side of your family. Yep. They are really what I'm thinking of as like the performers, big characters.
Yes.
They're all huge.
Yeah.
Huge characters and larger than life. You've got a perfect mix between the two.
Dude, I like shout out to my parents' genetics for being like really
dude, for real.
Yeah.
Side note,
blending really
shout
well.
Out genetics.
Dude, side note real quick, I was in one of my classes last semester and a girl knew your mom. I guess she was like in her class or something, and she's like, yo, so I was looking through her Instagram and I hate to say this,
stalkers on my mom's Instagram.
She was like, I don't know how it happened, but every single one of her kids is attractive. And I'm like, I know how it happened. I look at Paul. I look at
That's not offensive. That's not offensive.
Yes. I'm like, yeah, exactly. I'm like, I love to hear that. And I know it. You're not telling me anything I don't know.
That's amazing. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, the genetics are coming in hot.
Oh my gosh. A lot of attractive musicians on both the sides. But yeah, so I grew up with a lot of music in the house and at like family gatherings, always a guitar and an accordion and a drum set in the garage.
Where did the accordion come from?
But wait a minute.
Papa Steve had an accordion since he was 3.
Really? I didn't know. He does seem like an accordion type, dude.
Yes. Every year at Christmas for like the longest, he's been doing like a family polka.
That is awesome.
He'll write like a polka song like about Christmas for like for
dude,
our family
incredible.
gathering. Yeah. It usually involves like a lot of percussion. He like conducts the Orff band for the middle school.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So he'll bring like those kind of things like maracas and bells and like slapback. Yeah.
I love those things. That was always my favorite, dude.
Yes. So a lot of that.
Very percussive.
Yeah, he was a drummer. Played with Keith and the Wild Kingdom, which was a band in the 60s. That had like it was like number 7 on the Billboard top 10.
Wow.
98.6 is the name of the song. Hey 98.6.
I didn't know that.
Which is cool. So Papa Steve, he didn't record on that actually. I found out recently. I was talking to him about it.
Really?
So he was the touring drummer, which is like, I mean, both are really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love.
But also, didn't they? I heard something like way back in the day that he toured with the Beach Boys.
Yeah, that's true.
Is that? That's not an urban legend.
Not an urban.
Fact of the matter.
It's a fact. The Keith and the Wild Kingdom, Papa Steve was drumming for them, and they were touring the U.S. with the Beach Boys.
Dude, that's incredible.
That is awesome.
So you have the background for sure.
Yes. So. Yeah, a lot of Beach Boys in the house and Beatles, obviously.
Yes.
A lot of Beatles.
Y'all actually introduced me to English music, despite the fact that I went to England. So I should have been the one bringing it back for y'all.
You introduced Bit O' Honey, but you
yes,
not the music.
I gave you a bit of honey. You gave me a bit of gold.
Mercy.
Man, yeah. So I remember Mr. Rightside. Elliot actually was drumming to that. I remember he had the big old iPad. I remember y'all's family was like big up on the Apple. Funny that we say this.
I love the Apple, dude.
Yes.
Here on y'all's podcast. Yeah,
exactly.
we gotta mention Apple at least
Absolutely,
once.
dude.
Indeed.
We have to take that box every time. Yep. But He had the big old iPad, like the first iPad. And I don't know if you remember this, but he'd bring it out to the shed, and not the shed, the garage, and he'd play like a song and then drum along with it.
Oh, yeah.
And Mr. Brightside, I pulled up and heard that, and he's like, dude, listen to this song. And I was like, all right, bet.
Are they British?
Yeah.
The Killers are
The
British?
Killers? I'm pretty sure. Dude, I got to look it up now.
Brandon Flowers?
You got me tripping.
Man, checking for his phone.
I can't actually look it up.
Jamie,
I know every time I'm like,
Jamie, pull that up.
Yeah,
Jamie,
dude.
Do you have your phone by any chance?
Yeah, let me see.
Let me pull that up.
I'm curious.
Dude, I'm pretty sure
That's
they're
Jamie.
British. If I'm mistaken, that would be wild. That would actually change my whole outlook on life.
I could not tell you a damn thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, cause they're Las Vegas.
Are they?
They're American, yeah.
That's
they
crazy.
They seem like they could be British, though. I could see how you would think that.
Man's had his whole
They're
outlook
American,
change on
yeah.
life.
My
It's
whole
crazy.
outlook on life
There
is
it is.
completely changed,
Yeah.
dude.
It'll
Dude,
never be
that's
the same.
crazy. I've
We
been
still show you
running
the
around-
Beatles, though. That's funny.
Yeah, there you go. I'll give him that. That's crazy, though. Thinking about it now, I was like probably 7 years old when I got shown that for the past.
It's funny, those things that, like,
18
you
years.
learn them as a kid, and then they're fact, and then, like, you don't question. You don't
Yeah,
question.
I don't question, dude.
You don't question.
That's crazy.
funny,
Yeah, I've been living the last 13 years of my life just knowing that the Killers was a British band.
Or rather, thinking.
We're
you
here to
knew.
learn things.
Yeah, dude.
We're here to learn things.
That just goes to show, don't believe everything you think.
Yeah,
Question everything.
Yes.
honestly.
Wow, dude. So, growing up, you were in a very musical household. What would you say? You're the oldest,
Mm-hmm.
so that obviously,
Oldest of 6.
yeah,
For almost everyone listening at this point will know that Elliot is my brother, and he plays drums like a mad lad.
he's insane, dude.
Yeah, the Elliot aforementioned. But what were you saying?
Yeah, I was gonna say, being the eldest child, you've got to pave the way.
Yeah. I mean, definitely did like piano lessons as like a 4 5-year-old, and then like there's all those notes. I did not like that, so kind of stayed
All
away
the little
from
stinky
that.
symbols.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then
Reading some hieroglyphics.
yeah, that looks Greek to me. But they so my two of my uncles, Zach and Micah, who are in the Edison Project, it's like legendary Augusta band. They got me a 5-string bass for my 10th or 11th birthday.
Ooh.
It was, I still have it. I think Henry has it. Like this PV 5-string bass, which was taller than I was.
Yeah.
And like probably weighed about the same amount. I learned how to play that.
Yeah.
My parents got me like this DVD of like, it's like Bob Ross looking guy. He like, this dude had like this incredible perm, and like I feel like he was wearing a leotard on the cover of the book, but it's probably thinking of that Simmons guy.
Yeah, that's Mandela effect or something.
Yeah, no. But it was like a follow the CD, like play along in the book. Just like all like rhythm and blues stuff, like Johnny B. Good.
Dude, dope.
That kind of stuff. And then Elliot started learning how to play drums, and I started learning guitar like the next year, and then from there, like it would be me and Elliot jamming in the garage all the time.
I do remember the good old days,
dude, making a joyous noise, like.
Indeed.
But I mean, like we were like kids, but like I thought we sounded good. Like we would learn like at one point we were learning Tom Sawyer by Rush, and like obviously not like the note for note version. We weren't like savants or anything, but we were like or playing that at a
working your way
young
through
age,
it.
like
really
just rocking out, like having fun and like being really loud.
I remember the energy in the garage was palpable, dude. Every single time I'd hear the drums playing, I'd want to go over there, dude.
Scrumptious, dude. Just to be sitting in there.
Just absolutely, to feel the vibes, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because also, it's the perfect setup, too, to where you have the basketball court that's in the driveway right leading into, like, there's a concrete slab that's, like, raised up slightly. And that's the garage right there.
You go right in.
Yeah, go right in. You open up the garage door. You got the drums. You got the bass. You got the guitar, whatever. While you're shooting hoops. Incredible
Dude, while
vibes,
you're shooting
bro.
hoops, it's great. Like, my dad would always say, like, like, wow, this is y'all got me hyped up. Like,
yeah, exactly.
He would love just like, shooting hoops out there while we're jamming out.
Mm-hmm. And I remember that like every single time I'd hear the drums start going, because my house is close enough to where inside my house, no matter where I'm at, I hear the drums. Especially back in those days.
Especially if Elliot's playing, slapping the skins.
Yeah, we're absolutely jamming.
Indeed.
That's really the main bit of the foundation. And then also, obviously being in Auli community and going to prayer meetings all the time, like music growing up, it was tight. There's a lot of good musicians in the community. So some really, really solid, like really good praise and worship. It's almost like 70s folk, like inspired.
It really is. Yeah, there's so much 70s inspiration to it.
Yeah.
A lot of the like Auli originals, like, songs I kind of like thought like everyone knew, and then it's like, no, people from the community like wrote a lot of these songs, and they're good.
They're bangers. Yeah. They're absolute bops.
Yeah.
I remember a story. You can tell this a lot better than I am, so I'll just get you thinking. I'll get you on the right track of what the story is. But was there not a show where y'all started playing like some Days of Elijah or like some Lie Lie Lie? Like the show wasn't really like going too hot. Like people weren't really into it that much. Then y'all started with that, and everyone's like, hold up, and made them kind of glance over a little bit.
That specifically, that was probably at Southbound. We did that on multiple occasions.
Okay.
With the Village Sticks band.
It's a common thing.
Yeah. If you just ever need to like get hyped up, like let's whip out some praise and worship really quick.
Dude, I love that, man.
Great.
In the middle of a rock show, you just pull out some like 70 to 80s. Yes. Like
a lot of
incredible.
With all like these heavily inebriated college kids, like y'all need Jesus really quick.
Yeah, exactly, dude. The best way to bring it to them is doggone Days of Elijah. When you hear that drum start going, oh my gosh, man. So that gets my heart pounding even now thinking about it.
Just thinking about it. She's already going.
Dude, yeah, absolutely. I don't know how I can show y'all what Days of Elijah is. Maybe we'll have to like
grab a clip out of a prayer meeting or something.
Dude, something. I don't know. I don't even know how to find it.
Either that or we'll have to play it.
Yeah,
they're probably archived on the Auli website.
Yeah,
I could probably post something.
That's potential.
Because I still have access to all that.
There you go.
We got some employees.
Yeah.
Employee.
Employee, he quit.
We got previous. We're all actually employee. We were employees at one point. Funny enough.
This is true.
Are or were. Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, still getting paid that $8.25,
Oh, so you're not even minimum wage anymore. We can't even call it the minimum wage podcast.
It was whenever we started.
No.
So,
yeah, that's fair. Yeah. We can't still call it because it was at the point when it was begun.
Indeed.
Yeah. Dude, that's crazy, man.
It's wild.
So I'm thinking about like the progression of Alto Pablo from a young lad. It blew my mind now just hearing that your first introduction to music, you were 11 when you got that bass?
Either 10 or 11. I can't.
Dude, that's crazy. I always had it in my mind that you like little 4-year-old ass was like jamming or something. Like I don't know. Like a guitar, like Coco, like the
Pixar movie.
Yeah, the Pixar movie Coco. Movie. Like so that was my mind's eye of Alto Pablo was Coco.
He was like 10 or something. Yeah, right.
Something like that.
Was he?
In the movie, I think so.
Okay, dang. I guess it's fair. It is, dude. There's a very good reason for that to be in my mind's eye.
I mean, there was always a piano in the house, though. I think, like, because even though I'm like not proficient on piano, like the same way I am with bass or even guitar, like just having been exposed to piano for that long, I mean, I remember Paul McCartney, like seeing some video of him talking about it. Like it's all there, like all the notes, excluding like microtones. Like if you're just writing a song, like all the music is right there in front of you on the piano.
Yeah.
So it's a great place to
That's
learn.
what blew my mind actually. So we had a piano in my house as well from the time I was a baby up until we still have one. But the fact that I could just play any of the white keys and it would sound phenomenal.
Yep.
It just sounds like something that should be there. It blew my mind, dude. So I was like, I would always just go and mess around on the piano. And I'm sure you were much of the same. You would just be there messing around like, oh, that sounds good. Let me hit that again.
I think really that's what it's all about. Like I have like learning how to play by ear, as they say, which is like the curiosity in the musician. It's like, you know, there's that, and then there's like theory, which is, you know, like the Greek
theory,
the Greek that we were talking about, all the notes, which are like,
who needs theory?
you know, very. I mean, it's he's stretching it out.
Of that.
Oh yeah, just had to make sure that that guy was still
That was
recording.
still recording. Yeah,
That's good.
It's such a problem child, dude.
It's
Yeah.
It causes
Y'all
a
have
lot of problems,
upgraded. I gotta say, y'all have upgraded the setup since the last episode I was on.
I mean, the
We've
last
come a
episode
long
you were
way.
on.
That was episode 004.
Yeah.
Titled The Illustrious Alto Pablo. If you haven't listened to it, it's a good podcast.
Yeah, and it's funny
Wow.
you say listen to it because we weren't even on video at that point. You
And
were
now we're on
only
video.
on
Now
audio.
you can see the man.
Yeah, exactly.
In all of his glory.
Now you can get the joke he was talking about when he had a mic stand. He was like,
the mic
I got 2 hands free. You know, one's for the beer, the other's for the other beer.
Yeah, exactly.
This time I only have one beer, so we don't need the mic stand.
Exactly. Yeah, he came prepared. He knew we were gonna clown him for having a mic stand.
Yeah.
Can't be able to mic stand on the minimum wage podcast.
No way, dude. No way.
It's like we have like
Too bougie.
thousands of dollars of equipment facing us.
Too bougie for
Yeah,
that.
it blows my mind,
That's crazy.
man.
Yeah. But yeah, learning by ear, I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
You know, I had a friend a couple years ago ask me, a musician friend who he's like, he's awesome. Owen.
Johns.
Yeah, Owen Johns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goat it up.
Yeah. So his stuff is great. I wish he'd put out his music because I
Has
love
he
listening
ever?
to it.
He hasn't even released a single song, has he?
I don't think he has released any, but he's recorded a lot of cool stuff.
I know. I've heard some of his stuff. Well, he skates too. So I was at the skate park one time with him, and after we finished up, we went to his car, and he's like, "Dude, I got to show you something."
Yeah.
And he pulled up what he had been cooking.
I love that. I always love that.
I'm like, "Oh my gosh, why is this not on Spotify for me to hear right now?"
Yes.
And he didn't have a good answer for me, dude. And I guess he still doesn't have a good answer for me.
He's becoming like a volleyball savant is what he's doing.
Is he?
He's a
He
good
plays volleyball.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Master of some.
Yeah. Handsome man.
Indeed.
Yeah, very dashing young lad.
Well, yeah, I bring up his fine self to say he had called me up one time, like, you know, he was learning music and he was asking me like how important are scales? Like, should I be learning scales right now? And my answer for him was like, yes, but like you don't have to know. If you are like teaching yourself and you're learning chord shapes and everything, like the scales are going on whether you know them or not.
Yeah.
Like if you are playing what sounds good to you, like that's the most important thing. But it's like, you know, like with an athlete, like a pole vaulter, you're not gonna like study physics. You're not gonna.
That was the first athlete that came to your mind.
Well, yeah, like
pole vaulter, dude.
Well, I picked a pole vaulter because like
Okay.
there's a lot of like
it
physics
fits with
going
the
on.
analogy.
Yeah, in this analogy,
Okay,
you know.
I was like, dude, Ethan's on a whole nother wavelength. Athlete, what? Pole vault.
Everyone's favorite sport, pole vaulting.
Exactly,
Yep.
dude.
Yep.
Well, like with the pole vaulter, they're not gonna like, you know, bust open a physics book. That's not gonna be the first thing they're gonna do. The first thing is they're gonna like, you know, get used to run it. I'm not a pole vaulter.
They're gonna grab that pole and they're gonna doggone run.
They're gonna
and
grab the pole. They're gonna
use
run.
it to vault.
Yeah, you get used to doing the thing. Like you try it out, and like the physics, all that to say, like the physics is going on whether you know it or not.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you can learn it, and then that'll give you like another way of understanding it. But really, like, learn it however it makes sense to you. First.
Yeah. And that makes a lot of sense too, especially if you're releasing music for other people. Because if it sounds good to you, chances are you're not a whole lot different from other individuals.
Yeah.
So it'll sound good to them, and whether you know it or not, you are definitely using the theory behind it.
Yeah.
You know, there is a ton of theory that goes into like what notes sound good, but you don't have to know any of it if it sounds good
If it
already.
sounds good, then you have found the theory.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can learn it after the fact as well, which is something I found over the last couple of years. Like, I did not know theory at all, and then playing in church band, the keyboard player Lamar, he kind of like showed me like Nashville number theory.
What is that?
It's pretty much the scale. If you take like, the pentatonic scale or whatever, like the root note is the 1, and then you go up like whole steps up to 8 is the octave, and then like those notes relate to chords. So like any basic song you listen to, it's like the 1, the 4, and the 5, the 6, like that. Pretty much that kind of thing. So all stuff that like if like the positions, then you're like, oh, what key am I in? Okay, well then that's the 1. And then the chord that sounds like that to me, where it like has this certain tension, like, oh, that's the 5 chord.
Yeah.
And then like the sad one is the 6. So all stuff that I like knew, but then you like find out this universal way of talking about it, which is the theory.
Interesting.
And then it is useful to know it when you're playing with people that you like have just met, or like if you are reading off of charts, then obviously like there's some people like the horn section, like the doctors from AU, they can play a song that they've never heard before by having it in front of them and reading it like they're reading English, and then they're just playing it like they're reading it.
That boggles my mind.
That's another level. So that's like really knowing theory.
Entirely self-taught. Yeah, and I
thought you went to school.
Entirely self-taught in terms of
he
music.
said entire. Okay, in terms of music.
Dude, if you look up forced laugh in the dictionary, there's a clip of that right there.
No.
Oh, dude.
I was like laughing, but like in the middle of still processing what he said. I was like, if I don't say anything, there's just nothing. But
it
I
was just
still processing the words. Like,
the word entirely. You just said.
Yeah, I'm self-taught.
I saw you at school.
In terms of music.
Yeah.
And just recently, I've been beginning to mess around with GarageBand because there's so much, and I've just been having a blast with it.
Funny enough that you say GarageBand. This is actually the podcast is being recorded on GarageBand right now.
All on Apple products. Yeah. Love that.
Yeah, of course. We're
not on Windows. Yeah.
Can you get GarageBand on a Windows?
Might have to like jailbreak it or something.
You got to jailbreak the Windows. I don't think they really do that, but like you run a virtual machine or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
GarageBand is the place. That's Allard production same way.
Yeah.
You actually... It was pretty far along in production that you actually upgraded to Logic.
Yeah, like 2 years into the album. It wasn't until like I started like working with Michael on like the like recording of it.
Because he uses
Logic. He uses Logic.
Logic and Pro Tools as well.
And Pro Tools. He was mastering on Pro Tools, and then we've like come to realize that Logic is just the way.
Prime.
Yeah.
Indeed.
In Logic, I actually remember when you got Logic the first time, and you opened it up, and I said, "What? That's GarageBand."
Yeah,
and then I looked up at the top, and it says, instead of GarageBand, in the top left corner, it says the name of the application on a Mac, and it said Logic Pro 10. I said, what?
There you go. Yeah,
they look the same, dude.
They look the same. Couple key powerful differences, but you just, you learn them.
Indeed.
Yeah. Better shortcuts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not like some shortcuts.
Yeah, it's like the big brother. It's really the pro version of GarageBand. It's GarageBand Pro.
But there's like so much available just on there for free, and you can like download a bunch of these sounds and synths. Like I'm just having a blast.
Oh yeah, if you look up like
incredible.
The number of songs that are made, like the number of hit songs that are made in GarageBand, it would be mind-boggling.
It sounds
that one ASAP Rocky song, Bless the Lord.
Yes. Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. Yeah.
Bless the Lord.
Bless the Lord. Praise and worship song. Yeah, that's like a GarageBand loop or a Logic loop.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Royalty free beat,
yeah,
baby.
it's literally, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's so much that you can do. It's so powerful. Really, it just goes to show that music is not the tools that you have. It's you. It's the musician, dude. It's not the tools that the musician has. It's what the musician can do with the tools that they do have.
Absolutely.
It will be interesting to see what artificial intelligence does in the realm of music. If like AIs can begin to just create their own beats,
we've been seeing it starting to happen, and like AI songwriters. At this point, it's like entertaining, but not in like the same way that like good music is entertaining.
Right.
At a certain point, though, I mean, you can do anything with AI the human brain can do. That's just the bottom line. That's how it works. But we're not at that point yet to where you can make a song indistinguishable from like a legendary musician
But
with
like,
AI.
Yeah.
even in the app, right? There are features to autoplay, and it just autoplays.
Yeah, like the auto drummer.
The auto drummer is
auto
awesome.
drummers.
Yeah.
Like I love those. Those save me so much time. I'm
Yeah,
like,
you've
oh,
got
dude, like
Alex and what are their two names?
no, there's actually like
That's
9 or 10 of them because you can download more for free.
That's wild.
Well,
They
and then
add,
there's
like, a bunch of
there's
new
names
drummers.
for all like the hip hop drum machines also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maurice. Shout out to Maurice.
Maurice, the goat, dude.
Yeah.
Trapdoor is a personal favorite of mine.
Trapdoor.
Yeah.
I always liked Boom Bap is great.
Boom bap. I've
and
never
then,
fiddled with that one.
Crate Digger.
Crate Digger's a bop.
Yeah, that was really good.
I love that one. We're just, dude,
naming off things.
if nobody's ever used GarageBand before,
They have
these
no
are just,
clue what we're
they
talking
have
Might
about.
no
not get it.
clue what's going on here, dude. These they like taken out of context. What does this mean, Crate Digger?
But if you've
What is-
seen it, then this
Maurice
is for
is
you.
Crate Digger?
Maurice.
What in the world,
Oh
dude?
goodness. Yeah, but it's just an incredible app with a bunch of stuff for free. And if you at home are interested in just making some beats, and you have an iPhone, then just open up the app and play around with it.
Yeah, and comment if you have ever used GarageBand before.
I'll be commenting on this one actually.
Yeah, I'll be commenting as well
Dude.
myself. Personal account, you'll see it.
Drop a link of the stuff you made with GarageBand.
Oh, if you do have it out, please.
I will 100% listen to it.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna listen to everything. If we get 1,000 comments,
I'll listen to 1,000
I'll
songs.
listen to 1,000 songs, dude. That's the bottom line.
That's 1,000 streams.
Yeah,
right
man.
there.
Well, we're
Yeah.
getting up there in time now, and believe it or not, I actually have class to go to.
Oh my god.
Indeed.
Oh lordy.
See if there's one last question for him. Do you have one?
I don't, dude.
You
We've
don't have
covered
one?
everything that I had.
Covered all the
I was here to ask about the music. I've done that.
What is your favorite instrument?
Ooh.
If you had to pick 1 or 2 or 3, there you go.
I'm gonna have to say the hammered dulcimer.
Oh,
I don't even know what that
Yeah.
is.
The hammered dulcimer is probably my favorite instrument.
that's the one that comes in a big box, right?
It's like a trapezoid.
Yeah. Okay.
Man's got trapezoids.
Those things are wild.
I've never even heard of this thing.
It's
Yeah.
if you ever went to like colonial times, there's like this mystic like elven Appalachian sounding music, but it's like it's like this trapezoid. It's like it's a wooden box with strings going across it. You got like 2 bridges,
Yeah.
you could call them, like
Mhm.
floating bridges, and then these strings going across, and you got these the hammers,
Yeah.
which are like wooden spoons with like felt at the end, and you just go like
Yeah. They sound so
So-
good though.
It's like if you opened up a
Skyrim
piano.
music.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, legit.
It's like if you
Love
opened up
that.
a piano and you were just like took like the felt like hammers, and then you were like doing that yourself instead
Mhm.
of the keys doing it.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's my favorite.
Do you have one?
Nice.
No.
Oh, sad.
Miss Clett had one.
Oh,
She
the
has
goat.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Love
Well,
that.
is there anything else that you want to say?
Yeah.
We're gonna plug all your stuff, all your socials down below. You can
That's
go ahead
kind
and
of you.
say.
Dude,
Thank you.
this is the man who introduced us to having a LinkTree, which is incredible. I love
No
LinkTrees.
way.
Everyone should make LinkTrees.
They're fun. You
Yeah.
can really get creative.
Yeah, actually, when I think about it, there's so much inspiration on this podcast from
Alto
Ethan, dude. Thank you so much, dude.
Indeed.
Thank y'all.
Yeah,
It's been good being here.
absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
Little handshake for the
yeah.
the close.
Thank you, boys.
Indeed.
Yeah. So y'all like and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram at the
The
Minimum Wage Pod. Yes, dude.
There it is.
Finally learned. Anyway,
That was
Yeah. This has been
the Minimum Wage Podcast.
Where even the name is above our pay grade. Peace.